If your instinct every time visibility feels slow is to create more content, I want to offer you a different move today. One that doesn't require a single post, a single new reel, or a single new idea. Because the visibility problem most online business owners have isn't a content shortage, it's an underused content problem. And those are two very different things with two very different solutions that we are going to talk about today. Hi, I'm Cindy Gordon, a selective visibility strategist and business mentor. I've built and sold multiple online businesses, and I'm the founder of the Unmistakable Movement. And this is one of the most practical shifts that I help people make, and one of the most overlooked. And if you are not on my email list yet, this is where I talk about this kind of thinking and take it a little bit further every single Thursday. Link in the show notes if you would like to join us. So let's talk about the content treadmill and how it works. Visibility feels slow, so you decide you need to post a little more. Maybe you need to spend your energy creating new content. So you post it, you get some engagement, visibility still feels a little slow. So what do? You create a little bit more. The hamster wheel keeps spinning, and the underlying issue never gets addressed. Meanwhile, sitting in your archive is content that already exists. Content that's already performed, and content that your audience, the people who found you last month, last week, or even yesterday, haven't even seen yet. Content that speaks directly to where your buyers are right now and what they need to hear from you before they say yes. So it's not necessarily a visibility problem. Think about it as an underused content problem. The content that's going to convert your next buyer is probably already written. They just haven't seen it yet. So before you create something new, ask yourself, what have you already done that your current audience hasn't seen yet? So let's make this concrete. You have a podcast episode from 6 months ago that speaks directly to the problem that your current audience is sitting with right now. Maybe this episode has never been reshared, never clipped, never been referenced in your newsletter. This is sitting in your feed getting older while you're busy creating something brand new on a similar topic. So you have the email sequences that new subscribers aren't receiving yet because you never set them up to be automated. The people joining your list today are starting cold instead of being walked through the thinking that made your existing audience trust you. You have Instagram posts or LinkedIn content from a year ago that performed well. You had real engagement, real comments, real shares that you never ever revisited. Because there's an unspoken rule in the content creation culture that old content is dead. Let me tell you, it isn't. Your new audience has never seen it. You have a sales page or an offer description that explains what you do in a way that converts. But it's buried 3 links deep on your website where nobody lands organically. That's underused content, and that's what it looks like. And leveraging it is one of the highest return visibility moves that you can make because the work is already done, and you're just getting more out of what already exists. Like we say, it's working smarter and not harder. So the move here is to audit before a creation sprint. Before you write anything new, spend an hour going back what you already have and sort it into 2 piles. Pile 1, content that speaks directly to where your buyer is now, the pieces that address the specific problem that your offer solves. Make that point of view clear. Build the case for why working with you is the right next step. This is your asset pile. These get reshared, repurposed, referenced, and redistributed. Pile 2, everything else. Supporting content, interesting tangents, content that served in the moment but doesn't serve your current direction. You don't need to delete it, you just don't need to keep amplifying it. Then look at your asset pile and ask yourself, where are the gaps in how my current audience encounters this content? Is it your email welcome sequence? Is it how you're showing up in your primary social channel? Is it your show notes or your link in bio where people land when they're ready to go deeper? So the goal isn't to recycle in a lazy way. It's to be intentional about making sure that the content that earns trust and drives decisions is actually reaching the people who need it, and not just the people who were there when you first posted it. So the resistance you feel here is real because I felt it. Creating something new feels productive. Redistributing something old kind of feels like cheating. But your audience doesn't experience your content chronologically the way that you do. They experience it based upon what they find when they find you. And most of them are finding you for the first time right now. Give yourself a 2-week experiment. No new content, only strategic redistribution of what already exists. See what happens to your engagement, your conversations, your DMs. Most people who try this are surprised by the results, surprised by how much energy they have left over when they're not on the content treadmill. You already have good content. You just need to go back and audit it and see what you can reuse. This is something I worked on in a recent strategy session, so let me tell you a little bit about a strategy session. Before the session, you fill out an intake form. So this is what we do before we get on the call, so that when we get on the call, we skip the background and we go straight to work. No wasted time, just a diagnosis that you actually need about whether it's your visibility foundation, your channels, or how you're executing inside of those channels. Link in the show notes if a strategy session has been on your mind for a while. Thanks for listening today. That's all I got. I'll see you next time. This is The Strategic Entrepreneur.